Welcome to James Madison's Montpelier, which is in Orange County, Virginia.
Today, we are going to be taking a look at the lives and legacies of the individuals that made up the enslaved community at Montpelier.
So join us for another lesson on the road. Working from can see to can't see meant working from sunup to sundown. The enslaved community here at Montpelier did backbreaking manual labor in the fields, planting crops, tending to them, then harvesting them. When they were done, at the end of the day, they'd come to these very crudely constructed cabins on the south lawn. And on display in the cabin, they have a collection of buttons. The buttons here are buttons that were owned by enslaved people. The buttons are found here at this very site because as these buildings fell apart and collapsed, this field was not cultivated or plowed, making it a good place to find archaeological evidence of the enslaved community. The enslaved community at Montpelier may seem like one entity, but they were absolutely individual people with their own personalities.
Enslaved laborers made the bricks that formed Montpelier House. Fragments of these bricks have been found by archaeologists and now form this mosaic of an enslaved brickmaker. An enslaved worker here at Montpelier left his or her fingerprints on this particular brick. The small size of the fingerprint indicates that women and children were among the brickmakers here at Montpelier. Enslaved laborers with special skills, blacksmiths, tailors, masons, worked together in small groups. When they weren't needed here at Montpelier, they were leased out to other plantations.
The two separate rooms in this structure were for two separate enslaved families, most likely domestic workers. Because of the location of these structures, the Madisons wanted them to appear attractive, yet archaeological evidence suggests that the structures were cheaply built using cast-off and leftover materials from the 1809 to 1812 main house expansion. James Madison was one of 12 children and the third generation of Madisons to call Montpelier their home. However, the size of the Madison family pales in comparison to Montpelier's largest community, enslaved African Americans. During the Madison family's time of ownership of Montpelier, generations of African Americans were born into slavery at Montpelier.
Montpelier was the home to over 6 generations of African Americans, over 300 individuals that were held as property by the Madison family. These people worked tirelessly every single day to maintain and sustain the lifestyle and the wealth that the Madisons enjoyed. Each of these people was a unique human being with their own talents, hopes, dreams, and aspirations.
Thank you for joining us today as we looked at the lives and legacies of the individuals that made up the enslaved community at Montpelier.
And if you can't physically come to James Madison's Montpelier, check out the Mere Distinction of Color exhibit at montpelier.org.
Or the naming project at digitaldoorway.montpelier.org.
That's Mr. Graham.
That's Mr. Gimby.
That's Mr. Raymond.
We'll see you guys next time for another lesson on the road.